Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode featuring bad lighting and worst characters. Just an update video, number 2, and I've been having some fun, as you can see, by the terrible enclosure. I was able to overcome my fear, and officially, this is the sign I must now hold. I caused a fire in the apartment. It was pretty great. What happened was, I was centering the laser beam with a piece of tape, and I had the power level too high, pressed the button for too long, and things went up in flames. It was pretty great. But we need to add this to the wall of shame. Maybe that'll be a recurring character, we will see. But all is well that ends well. Let me get better camera angles for you to see. Alright, so we have some really terrible camera angles and lighting, but you can see the days without a fire, 0. I set a fire yesterday, I set a fire the day before. Not good. And my mixtape caused it. For those of you who don't know, my mixtape is the name of this laser cutter, and I actually named it before it caused fires because it was likely to cause fires. Moving on, you can see my poorly cut out hole for the ramps, LCD. That is all mounted. Now, these panels actually slide off, so you can see my messy work area. But you can actually see, I just bolted it to the frame. I've started bolting stuff to the frame. Down there, I put a cross brace, and I've been mounting the panels on the sides with some 3D printed stuff. And what else do I have? Okay. The power supply and ramps are mounted. I think that was here in the last episode, but I don't know yet. I have a bed, temporary bed on. It's just 2 cross braces that have a little screw here that I can take, that I can take and raise and lower. And that was just 3D printed, really quick, but it does work. The laser beam is aligned, it works perfectly. So I actually have 2 separate motors for the y-axis that comes back and forth. And one of the bad things about that is there is a desync, which means this can sort of rotate one way without the other. You can torque it, essentially. And so if this ever comes out of alignment, what I have is I have some pegs that I'm also using for grounding because these are not connected electronically other than by this wire. You basically just bring it back. On both sides there's pegs, you connect it, and then you auto home. Now there is some rattling still, I don't know what's causing it, but hopefully that is fixed. In the near future, we will see if I can fix that. Here you can see my air assist hose. It is connected and I have it hooked up to my compressor. You can see my pump of water down there, or my pump and water bath. I'm going to move it over this way because right now this is where I'm going to be cutting with the laser, and I just don't want pieces to fall in there. Coming over to this side, you can see the tube is still mounted, but this time it's aligned. I can try to move this camera dynamically. Power supply is down there, air compressor is down there, which you can actually see is on some styrofoam blocks so it doesn't cause vibrations. And that's honestly about it right now, but I have tested the laser. I will do a test fire for you, and it should all be aligned, so it should just cut straight through, but we will see. Now, I do have the side panels off. You should not do this with the side panels off, just because bad things, but I do have my laser safety glasses, ×2. And we'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. Let us turn it on. This thing still really scares me, so I have a wooden spoon for testing the laser power supply. But let's give it a good old college try. First we're going to connect the air assist. I have not tried it with that yet. I do not know if the beam is entirely in focus, but we will see if it is. Testing in 3, 2, 1. And we have a cut. Alright, let's see what that did. Probably not going to be able to see this that well because I can't. But you can see we did get a cut there. It's not that good yet. It didn't cut through. I did not have the power level very high. But it's better than nothing. I like it. And so, just one more thing. Make sure your frame is electronically connected to ground. Like actual wall ground. Because these things are scary. Make sure all portions of the frame that are really needed to be grounded are. For example, these ground wires I have on all 4 sides of the frame, and they will be added some other places too. I just have not gotten around to it, but that is the major portion of stuff that needed to be grounded. So hopefully that was an interesting update, and I'll talk to you guys later. But first, enjoy this episode of Cooking with Caleb. Oh boy. Hello everyone, welcome to Cooking with Caleb. We are going to be making some curly fries today. Now, the reason why we are cooking these curly fries in boiling water is to actually make them straight fries. When you make curly fries, you actually make them straight. It's weird. But we drop it in there, and we just let it sit for a little bit. Maybe give it a little stir. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't melt. But actually, you can see it spinning itself. It's straightening out. Look at that. Look at it go. Oh, baby. So the reason we're actually doing this is the tubing itself right now is just a little bit too long. And one of the ways to make it shorter is to straighten it out because, you know, when you curl something around, it takes longer to get to the destination. A spring might have 10 feet of wire in it, but it might only be 2 inches long. That's probably wrong, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. And so what I'm trying to do is shorten the length of tubing that I need, thus letting me have... So what I'm trying to do is shorten the amount of tubing that I need, thus decreasing the resistance of air through the tube, thus increasing airflow, thus needing a less stronger pump for the same amount of air pumped. Hopefully it works. We're just going to let this sit in here for a little bit. Hopefully it does work. Make sure you get the water into the tube, and everything should be good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try to straighten this, because I think it's feeling pretty soft, and it should... we'll leave it in for a little bit longer. Alright, so to help me straighten it, I have some clamps that I got from Harbor Freight, and we're going to see if it works, but I'm going to turn this off for now. I'll be back in a second when I have it drying. Alright, so I have the tubing stretched from the edge of my stove all the way over to my bookshelf over there. And just be careful, it is tubing, the boiling water will be inside. I spilled a bunch on the floor. It's just not a good thing if you get boiling water. Now, I also didn't tighten this up too much. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight, but things do shrink as they cool. So I am hoping that it will contract and completely straighten. We will see.